Shadowman Origins, how a boy from New Orleans became its hero. The world of voodoo, mystic arts, necromancy, and more has always been mysterious and curiosity-inducing for all of us. Generally, society considers voodoo to be evil and something people should stay away from. But Valiant Comics has given a new take on this practice and given the world a superhero possessing the powers of an ancient and immensely powerful voodoo spirit, Shadowloa. Shadowman is the protection of the living against the malicious world of the dead. But how did an ordinary boy from New Orleans become a superhero overnight? Let's find out, shall we? Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. And thank you. Now let's begin. Shadowman. Who is he? Shadowman, or Jack Boniface, is a superhero from the New Orleans possessing the powers of a great voodoo spirit. He protects the world of the living, known as the live side, from the world of the dead, known as the dead side. He works together with the Abaters, who are a powerful occultist group, to fight against demons and the evil necromancer, Master Dark. Master Dark is the most powerful necromancer in the world and Shadowman's #1 nemesis. Eventually, Master Dark tricked Jack to becoming his slave, serving him in the dark side and forcing him to become a new figure known as Magpie. Unbeknownst to Jack, who thought he couldn't escape from Dark's escape, he actually could. He is then rescued by Ninjak and Punk Mambo, who also happen to be two other prominent heroes in the Valiant universe. Shadowman Origins. Born as Jack Boniface, Shadowman was first introduced in the issue of Shadowman #1 in May of 1992. He first appeared in the issue of XO Man-O-War #4 before getting his very own series. Created by writers Jim Shooter and Steve Englehart, with artist David Lepham, Shadowman is a prominent character in the Valiant universe. The series again was rebooted in 2012 by Valiant Entertainment due to its immense popularity. His character is so popular that New Orleans Mayor Sidney Barthélemy even proclaimed the 17th of January 1993 as Shadowman Day. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Shadowman is a lineage and has been passed down Jack's bloodline for many years, with him taking up the mantle as host after his father. But how did this all come to be? Shadowman #1 opens up with the scene of Jack's parents, Helena and Josiah, in a supposed argument where Josiah must leave his family for the greater good of the world. Cue an attack by the world of the dead, led by evil necromancer Master Dark. Josiah falls in battle while subsequently killing Master Dark as well, or so it seems. Dox, a member of the Abaters, who is a powerful occultist organization dedicated to fighting against Dark, goes to find a pregnant Helena, but she has already fled and is nowhere to be found. Fast forward to the present and we see a grown-up Jack back in New Orleans and working at La Nouvelle Orleans Museum of Culture. Jack meets up with Dave Burke at a museum, who's shown waiting for him in front of a display of voodoo masks. No doubt a nod to the New Orleans culture and the voodoo spirit who powers the hero. Jack calls himself a jack of all trades, which is a smooth pun here. Mr. Burke hands Jack documents about his parents containing information he's been trying to find for 3 years. This is where we find out Jack has been raised in foster care since Helena's death in a road accident. Helena told Jack that his father was a great man and that he's given him this talisman when he was 10 years old, which he was never to part from. But what Jack finds in the envelopes are arrest records of his parents containing charges of homicide, arson, robbery, and much more. Devastated, Jack believed that his mother lied to him and throws away the talisman without ever knowing of its supernatural past. With the talisman gone, Jack is now prone to danger of being detected by Master Dark and his demons, but obviously he doesn't know. Somewhere in the city, 2 police officers come across a gruesome scene of bloody, torn-up bodies and fall prey to Mr. Twist, a demon sent by Master Dark to capture Jack, who then possesses the officers and has Jack arrested, while the poor dude was just walking down the street minding his own business. Jack comes face to face with the possessed officers' true faces and is flabbergasted. They drive him out to a remote place, and in an attempt to run away, he is shot in the back. This unleashes the Shadowloa spirit, later revealed to be named Bosu Kablaman. which accepts Jack as its new host, reciting the names of his ancestors and the previous hosts of the spirit as it becomes one with Jack. Jack makes his official appearance as the Shadowman enters with the killer phrase, "I'm not something you see every day. I'm the last thing you'll ever see. I'm Shadowman." Shadowman, the trials of a hero. Shadowman's legacy began centuries ago when Master Dark's twin sister sacrificed her own child to summon a voodoo spirit and bound it to her husband, Maurice Boniface, to be able to stop her brother. Since then, countless men and women have been the hosts of the spirit with the same arch-nemesis, Master Dark, with the spirit taking Jack as a host after his father's demise. After using Dark's help to find his father and bounding himself to the Necromancer and serving him in the dead side, Jack finally manages to find a way back to the world of the living. He is rescued by Alyssa Miles, an ally and head of the Abaters. He then ventures on a journey to find the truth of his powers and the lowest spirit and try to free himself from it. This lands him in peril with a powerful Loa by the name of Baron Samedi. What follows is a battle between the two parties, and Jack's allies are clearly overwhelmed. For a second, a summoning ritual performed by Alyssa and Jack's attacks seem to work in their favor, but Samedi curses Jack's scythe, which allows him to kill Jack, and he dies in front of Alyssa. If you thought that was a short end to the story of Shadowman, you're right. Death was not the end for Jack, as his soul slipped back in time and allowed him to latch himself onto the previous host of the Shadow Loa and witness their experiences. He witnessed his great-grandfather's adventures and those of the first Shadowman by the name of Marius Boniface. Fearing his soul would continue to fall through time and be forever lost, Jack ended up latching onto one tribal warrior who made a pact with the Shadow Loa to save his family and tribe, and was the first actual Shadowman. He is then sent to the present and wakes up after his funeral with the immense knowledge of his ancestors and his legacy. Shadowman, Stalinverse. The Stalinverse is a mass hallucination and fake reality in the Valiant universe, which was put forth on the universe by cosmonaut Cosmere because he felt betrayed, so he thought a mass hallucination was the perfect solution. In the Stalinverse, the whole world is occupied by the Soviet Union, so we have Jack, who lives in New Orleans prior to the invasion. He holds off the invading army using his spirit powers and is successful in thwarting the invasion and protecting his loved ones. But soon, the Russian superhumans, Auric and Commander Bloodshot, manage to defeat him and capture him. He is then made into a weapon for the Soviet Union and is used by them until his eventual rescue when divinity returns the world to normal. Shadowman. What makes him so powerful? Jack's Shadowman has immense powers due to him being the host of very powerful voodoo spirits. Shadow Loa like the lack of fear, enhanced skills, endurance, regeneration, and so much more. But the spirit also grants him many cool supernatural powers that give him an edge over his enemies. He can freely pass between the live side and dead side at will, conjuring portals or using portals created by others. He can also manipulate or summon any unliving entity to follow his orders. He can also use these powers to control all sorts of creatures from the dead side. Jack is seen commanding skeletons to do his bidding in a vision of the distant future shown by Eva. He possesses the powers to alter darkness to perform many mystic feats. He can melt through the darkness to get through from one place to the other. He can also shape the shadows into different forms, which can be seen by his best formation so far, which has been a murder of crows. Although the classic Shadowman has been known to be vulnerable during the day and only had powers at night. He also used many pieces of equipment throughout the Valiant universe, such as the Shadow Scythe, Shadowman's Amulet, Magpie costume, and the Ring of Solomon. Shadowman, the hero in various media forms. Resulting in the extreme popularity and success of the video game and character, Acclaim Entertainment was approached by rapper-actor Ice Cube with an idea to make a feature film. Acclaim decided to decline the offer because they were more focused on the success of the video game, but in June of 2017, reportedly Valiant Entertainment had hired Reginald Hudlin, who was a producer on Quentin Tarantino's hit Django Unchained, to direct an adaptation and also co-wrote the screenplay alongside Adam Simon, known for a haunting in Connecticut. But since then, there have been no updates about the movie, making fans worldwide extremely curious. The film is said to be in the works and is rumored to be inspired by the likes of Black Panther. Damien Poitier also portrayed Shadowman in the web series Ninjak vs. the Valiant Universe. In the world of Marvel and DC heroes, Valiant's Shadowman is a unique concept and celebrates the character's New Orleans heritage. Tired of hearing about the same heroes over and over again? Give Shadowman a shot. The comic captures the reader's interest from the very first volume and keeps you hooked throughout. And with a new revival in April 2021, this is exactly the fresh mystic superhero everyone should be looking out for. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.